If you're in remote sales or want to get in remote sales, go abroad. It will change your life. This episode isn't about value. This episode is hopefully your sign to book that one-way flight. Put myself in an uncomfortable situation, which led me on to an opportunity that changed my life. But there's no more of a freeing feeling and an excitement feeling of when you book that one-way flight and you go abroad and you've got your remote sales role and you're making money online. You will spend more money living in the UK than you would living in, say, Thailand, Bali, Turkey, South America. There's no better feeling than when I see someone like Callum Graham, who was in a full-time job, 9 to 5, leave his full-time job and become a full-time closer. Welcome back to the Sales of Callum podcast. I'm excited to have you here. It's episode 9, why every remote sales closer should experience living abroad. Now, let's dive into this. So you see it online, right? Everybody wants to get into the online space, the remote sales space, so they can travel the world. But here's the thing. So many people that start the remote sales space, what they do, they have this mindset that they need to be earning a specific amount of money. A lot of people that I speak to, they think they need to be earning like £10,000 per month in order to be able to live abroad and close and sell abroad. But the funny thing is, if you're listening to this, you're tuning into this podcast and you're from the UK, as an example, let me tell you this, you will spend more money living in the UK than you would living in, say, Thailand, Bali, Turkey, South America. So this is the intention of this podcast, is to share with you that if you've got an online opportunity, you're in the remote sales space or you're looking at getting into the remote sales space, like I strongly recommend going all in with this, because if you're able to be in a position where you can earn an income online, what that means is you're able to go explore the world and sell at the same time, right? And why do I think that every remote sales rep should go and live abroad at least once, at least try it? Because it can be so easy to get comfortable. You know, if you're in your hometown, right? All your friends are there from home. You know, you've lived there your whole life. All your family are there, which is amazing. And there's so many benefits to that. But there's no more of a freeing feeling and an excitement feeling of when you book that one-way flight and you go abroad and you've got your remote sales role and you're making money online. You're closing deals, you're booking appointments, you're networking with new people. And this is the best thing about, and the reason why I believe you should go and work abroad and explore the world. It's because you meet new people. It makes you think differently. You know, it makes you think bigger. It pushes you out your comfort zone. And if you want to live an extraordinary life and you want to make more money and you want to get around new people, the best way to do that is to go to spots around the world where a lot of digital nomads are. You know, I lived out in Bali for 3 months. You get so many remote sales reps and online business owners out there. You know, Thailand has a massive hub for the remote sales space. South America, Tulum. There's so many incredible places out there in the world. And by you going all in and getting yourself out there and go and travel and closing deals abroad, you're going to take yourself to that next level. I'm not going to give you, this episode isn't about value. This episode is hopefully your sign to book that one-way flight. You know, if you're not in a remote sales role yet, you know, get professionally trained. You know, myself and Jordan at Sales Growth Club, you know, we're training remote appointment setters and remote closers every single day. There's no better feeling than when I see someone like Callum Graham, who was in a full-time job, 9 to 5, leave his full-time job and become a full-time closer. Like, I get no better feeling than seeing that happen. So if you're looking to get into the space, like, get yourself in the right communities, the right networks, get trained professionally. And the faster you can book that one-way flight, the faster you can experience living abroad will change your life. And I feel so grateful that 8 years ago was my first opportunity actually out in Mallorca in a place called Magaluf. I went out there, I booked a one-way flight, and I ended up getting into sales. Remote sales wasn't even a thing then, but I put myself in an uncomfortable situation, which led me on to an opportunity that changed my life. You know, I ended up doing 5 summers in Mallorca. That led me on to traveling. That led me on to starting a podcast called Freedom Lifestyle, where I've got 65 episodes. Obviously, that was more mindset business. all areas, whereas this is specifically about sales, about remote sales, the Sales of Callum podcast. So if you're in the remote sales space or want to get into the remote sales space and you're listening to this, I want to get connected with you. Get connected with me over on Instagram. Message me 888 and I'm excited to get connected with you. And I even have a private story on my Instagram. I share weekly and daily mindset and sales training and hacks to help you become an A player in the remote sales closing space. Okay? But my message to you, if you have this feeling or gut feeling that you want to travel the world, it will be the best thing that you ever do. The people you meet, the network you meet, the expanding your mind, expanding the horizon. It's just so good for creativity that I just strongly recommend if you're in remote sales or want to get in remote sales, go abroad. It will change your life. But other than that, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I'm excited to see you on the next episode. Have an amazing day. Hasta luego.